I'm going to call it an incremental development in the Hillary email scandal. The Clinton staffer, Brian Pagliano, the guy who set up her private server, his emails are missing. All rise. Judge Napolitano is here. What's the significance of this, if any?
Well, there's a lot of moving parts here, Stuart, and this is becoming a perfect storm for Mrs. Clinton this week. Last week, her aides were interviewed by the FBI, not under oath, but of course, if you lie or mislead, it's the same penalty as if you lied under oath. That's the Martha Stewart crime. This week, the FBI is negotiating with her attorney about when, where, and under what circumstances she will come in to be interviewed by the FBI. Next week, the same aides that testified before the FBI will be testifying in front of video cameras in a Freedom of Information Act case about whether or not there was a conspiracy in the office of the Secretary of State to avoid transparency laws. Mrs. Clinton has denied that the FBI has reached out to her campaign. That is a joke. The FBI would never reach out to her campaign, and it wouldn't reach out to her because she's represented by counsel. It would only reach out to her lawyer. At the same time, there was a dispute going on in the Kremlin between the Foreign Ministry and the Russian intelligence services about whether or not to reveal the 20,000 emails that they've received by hacking into Mrs. Clinton's email account.
They say the Russian... Wait a minute, this is huge. The Russians say they've got 20,000 emails that they hacked out of Hillary Clinton's private server?
Yes, it could be innocuous emails, or it could be the 2,200
or they could be lying.
Yes, or they could be making it up, but they are having a debate about whether or not to release them. That's why I'm calling this a perfect storm. It's all happening at the same time. Now, as for the news lead this morning, it's almost inconceivable that the guy in charge of information technology for the Secretary of State, his emails in the 4 years that he worked there would be gone.
I get that. I've got to go back to this Russian thing. I mean, you've got me on the Pagliano thing. You've got my attention.
Right.
But now you're telling me that the Secret Service in Russia, whatever their name is these days.
It's the Federal Intelligence Service, whatever they call themselves, the successor to the KGB.
They say they've got 20,000 emails hacked out of Hillary's private server. They've got them?
Some of them may have been hacked out of Sid Blumenthal's server, but it's 20,000 emails sent to or by Mrs. Clinton. They have them, and they're debating whether or not to release them.
And the timing of their release, if they should choose to do it, would be very important.
That's why I'm saying this is a perfect storm, because there's so many moving parts. Two federal judges presiding over two different Freedom of Information Act requests have said, if you can show me there was an agreement in the Office of the Secretary of State to hide these emails from the public, I will let you depose Mrs. Clinton. That will be a deposition under oath in front of video cameras.
Try this. I've got 20 seconds left. The administration and the Hillary camp will say there was no malicious intent. Yes, they appeared on the server, these secret things. We didn't intend it. There's no malicious intent whatsoever. So get rid of it.
They would be ill-advised to say that, because intent is not an element of this crime. It is a rare federal crime, espionage, where the government doesn't have to prove intent.
You're right, legally. Of course, you're right. But the politics of it...
Right, the politics is if we didn't mean to do it, we shouldn't be punished.
Exactly.
She can make that argument politically.
She will.
Yeah, but that argument is unavailing to the FBI.
Okay. To voters, it's a different story.
Yes.
All right, Judge, always good. Thank you very much. See you at 11. Thank you.